Okay, so we're going to install some decorative hardware on this on these cabinets, and these are the handles that we've got to install. It's 5 inches on center. From the center of this hole to the center of this hole is 5 inches. So we have a jig that is specially designed for installing decorative hardware onto door and drawer faces. And happens to be made by Precision Casework. Probably the best tool on the market for this type of application. So when we were going to install this decorative hardware, we had to first determine the location that we want to install this hardware, okay? Where we want to put it. It's generally speaking, in almost all cases, you're going to be centering your handle from side to side. So left to right, you want to center that handle on the drawer face. And then vertically, we have a little bit of latitude as to what we might want to end up doing. Since this drawer face here is 6 3/4 inches tall, I decided to mount this vertically centered as well as side to side centered. So 6 3/4 inches is the height of this drawer face. Half of that is 3 3/8. So I've taken my jig and set it to 3 3/8. All right, you can see right here that this little fence is set right at 3 3/8. It also has a metric rule on there as well. Okay, so this is set for 3 3/8, and that'll give me a hole, or the holes that'll be centered vertically in the cabinet. We have a couple of other adjustable bushings that we can center at each on 2.5 inches from the center of this jig, and that will mean they're 5 inches apart. So the two holes are 5 inches apart, and we can just kind of verify that these are also 5 inches apart. You could also do kind of what I like to do, which is to just hold the actual hardware up to your jig, and you can visually inspect it and go, yeah, those two holes are centered on the two holes that are in this jig. The one thing you want to be careful of is drilling these holes. We've committed a process that is very difficult to undo. So if you drill a hole in the wrong location, you've essentially probably destroyed that particular piece. And in this case, because we have a grain match going on, if we were to replace this with another piece, it wouldn't match up grain-wise. So really, in essence, we would have ruined 3 pieces by ruining 1. So make sure that we've got the right width set up, the right distance from the top of the fence to the center, and then we've located the center of our drawer face. In this case, we've marked it with the edge of this tape. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to set up my jig. I need to lower this bench a little bit. So that I can look down on my jig. And I've got a little center mark scratched onto the metal surface there, and that's the center. I can line that up with my center of my drawer face, and I'm going to go ahead and, well, that's the wrong drill bit. Okay. This is too big of a diameter. You got the correct diameter over here. Okay. All right. Line my jig up. Again, what I'm going to do is drill, but I'm not going to drill all the way through. So I've started my hole, but I didn't drill all the way through because I want to have a board on the back side of the drawer box so that I don't blow out again the back side of the drawer box with my drill. So I go back to my spot here. Complete the hole, and then I'm ready to attach my handle. So I have a couple of 1.5" machine screws that are sticking out just about 1/4 inch, which is about the right amount. And got my screwdriver, and just going to get it started on the one side, get it started on the other side, and then I can finish tightening it down. Okay, so I can take those handles off, take this piece of tape off, and I've got my decorative hardware installed. Okay.